Hello friends, in this video I'll be going to share dynamic partitions as a part of multiple partition allocation in memory management techniques. Before going to understanding of dynamic partitions, we must know the fixed partitions. This is what I explained with examples in previous videos. Variable partitions or dynamic partitions. We have seen certain issues in multiple partition allocation. What are the issues? One is internal fragmentation. Second one is external fragmentation. Third one is limited to degree of multiprogramming. Let us look into this picture. This is fixed partitioning, and these are the list of processors are waiting for load into the user area, means in the main memory. So this is a equal sized partition, and this is unequal sized partition. You see the user area is divided into equal sized partitions. This user area is divided into unequal sized partitions. And what are the problems with the equal sized, unequal sized partition means? Those problems we discussed in fixed partitions. One is internal fragmentation, second one is external fragmentation and limited to degree of a multiprogram. What is meant by internal fragmentation? Let us look into the list of processes. The process P1 requirement is 350K, but as per the fixed partition method, all the partition sizes are equal. Each one is 300K. My requirement is 350K. So I should not able to load into this user area or main memory. What is the reason? The memory is available, but memory is not available in a contiguous manner. So I should not able to load into this. So external fragmentation occurred. And suppose let us go for the my P4 requirement is 60K, but here you see that 300K, 300K, 300K. So if I load into this partition 1, and how much memory my requirement is 60K. So how much memory will be unused? Around 240. So this is internal fragmentation. So internal fragmentation and external fragmentation occurred. You see, whereas in the unequal sized partitions, even in the unequal sized partitions also, these two are repeating. But unequal sized partition is little bit better than the equal sized partitions. Look into this process P1 350. 350 exact location I found. Okay. On comparatively equal and unequal sized partition, sometimes fixed size partition is better than unequal sized partition, and sometimes unequal sized partition is better than equal sized partition. When the processes sizes are variable, then unequal sized partitions are better than equal sized partition. When the processes sizes are equal, then equal sized partitions is better than unequal sized partition. So if you want more clarity on this, please watch fixed partitioning videos. Let us see here degree of a multiprogramming, limited to degree of multi. That user area is divided into multiple partitions at the time of system generation. So once I decide the number of partitions and those many number of programs I can load into this. Suppose 3 partitions. So the degree of multiprogramming is 3 only. So it is limited to 3 only. So limited to degree of multiprogramming. These are the issues we can overcome with the help of dynamic partition. How? Let us look into this. The partitions are made during the execution according to the process need. Dynamic partition method is saying the definition is what you see that the partitions are made during the execution according to the process need. So my process requirement is 350. Okay. And as per my requirement, it will be allocated 350 and the remaining memory keeping as a free. So that remaining is 450. The number of partitions are not fixed. You see, as per my requirement, it is allocating. So number of partitions are not fixed. When number of partitions are not fixed, then we can increase the degree of multiprogramming. How? With respect to the sizes of the list of processes. Okay. Suppose here is P1 10K, P2 20K, P3 40K, P5 60K, P5 90K, P6 100K, like the memory is required. So all the processes I can load with the help of dynamic partition. Number of partitions are not fixed and depends on the process requirement and main memory size. The partitions are not fixed and depends on the process requirement. It is allocating with respect to the process requirement and main memory size also with respect to the main memory size. Suppose my process requirement is 1000K. How it is possible? So main memory size. And this kind of operating systems long back it was there, but now we need to check. IBM's mainframe operating system, multi-program with a variable number of tasks. What is variable partitioning? The partitions are made during the execution according to the process need. The user area is dividing into multiple partitions with respect to the process need. Let us assume list of processes P1, P2, P3, P4 and this is user area. So now I am applying the dynamic partition method. My P1 requirement is 350. As per the definition of the dynamic partition, 350 is less than 900K. Condition is true. So as per my requirement, it is dividing into two partitions. You see P1 350K consider as a one partition and remaining as a 3. The next which is available in a queue P2. P2 requirement is 400K. Available is 550K. So now it is selecting 400K and allocating for P2 and remaining keeping as a free. The next which is available in a queue P3. P3 requirement is 310K. So not available sufficient memory. So then it must be wait for some time. After some time, P1 swap out after completion of the task. Now this is the free space is available 350K. Now this is one partition and this is another partition. Here 50K available, here is 350K available. But these partitions are dynamic partitions. So I can merge one to another. That flexibility here. Whereas in the fixed partition, that flexibility is not there. What is that flexibility? I cannot merge partition 1 to partition 2. But in this method, I can merge. Look into this. Now P3 is trying to enter into the main memory. Requirement is 310K. But how much memory is available here is 350K and 50K. Now as per my requirement 310K, sufficient size is available. So now P3 is loaded into this partition. Once it will be loaded into this partition, let us see here 310K my requirement and unused area is 40K. This 40K is called internal fragmentation and free space is available 50K. Now let us try for the next process whichever is available in a queue. P4. P4 requirement is 60K. But here is unused area is 40K. Free space is 50K. But my requirement is 60K. I want in a contiguous manner. But I want in a contiguous manner. When I want to contiguous manner, but that memory is not available in a contiguous manner in the main memory. When I want to load P4, I should not able to load. Even sufficient memory is available. That is what external fragmentation. Now with the help of the compaction method, unused memory making as a one group and used memory as a another group. The compaction method is mainly for what? For making into the two divisions. One is used area is one side and unused area another side. Okay. Let us see used area is, this is what, P3, P2 and unused area is 40K and 50K. So 90K. How it is possible? The partitioning is dynamic partitioning at the time of execution. So I can apply the shuffling method. So with the help of the compaction method, I am able to make into the two groups, used area, other unused area. So now unused area 90K is there. So now my P4 requirement is 60K. So once I will test with this available memory, sufficient memory is available. Now I can load P4 into this partition. Now still there is a certain memory will be wasting. So this wastage of the memory is called external fragmentation. So here is no internal fragmentation, but external fragmentation. It never satisfies. Okay. What are the advantages of and disadvantages of dynamic partition? Advantages: no limitation on the size of the process. No limitation on the size of process and main memory size. Partitions are changed dynamically. You see, no limitation. As per my requirement, it is allocating. So, no limitation with respect to the main memory availability only. Suppose my process required 850, so it is allocating. No restriction on multi-programming. As per input processes sizes, it is allocating. So, no restriction on multi-programming. No internal fragmentation. You see here, no internal fragmentation because of compaction method. With the help of the compaction method, we are moving unused area into one side and used area is another side. So, with the help of the compaction method, that could be avoiding, which is internal fragmentation. No internal fragmentation. And disadvantages: time consuming process. We see compaction method. So here is lot of shuffling operations are required. So then this is time consuming process. Difficult to implement due to runtime allocation. The memory is allocating during the execution. So it may affect by other one. So that is what difficult to implement. And external fragmentation. Still external fragmentation exists. In the next video, we will discuss dynamic storage allocation methods like first fit, next fit, best fit, worst fit. Thank you, one and all.